Right, so this is talking about the event somewhere
The Women of Star Trek for Kamala Harris.
on October 3rd. This was on the Facebook, and this is our response, Eric.
What doesn't surprise me, I don't know how I feel about it overall, but it doesn't surprise me that
I know how you feel about it because when I read the comment about how, to quote somebody, I'm not going to mention their name because I don't know them and not going
Right.
to, but that you're doing a great job, clap emoji. Star Trek was never MAGA. Well, first of all, there was the Omega Glory episode, and you can talk about, it was always, it wasn't necessarily political, and why does it have to be political now?
I think
I understand that we had to put Stacey Abrams in as the president of Earth in the 31st century. Well, has she won an election ever? I mean, I know she's contested a lot of them. And why are we talking about politics? I want to talk about phasers and stuff in the future. I don't want to talk about this. Star Trek in the 60s was something hopeful, something to aspire to. Even the Star Trek in the 80s and 90s.
yeah.
And the stuff from 2004 on is nothing but shit. Depressing, horrible, god-awful Star Trek.
And really, to make a statement like that Star Trek was never MAGA, okay? There was no such thing as MAGA when Star Trek was a thing. And that is, it's incendiary, it's divisive, it suggests that MAGA or conservative people that
So does it also...
are excluded from Star Trek because, we don't like you guys. No, fuck that. I'm sorry. Star Trek has always been for everybody. I know so many, and I'm talking some Trump and Z's that love Star Trek. So, no, get over yourselves. And I'm not a MAGA guy. I'm not at all. But that was out of line, just to even suggest that.
Thank you, because it was. Because I am just so beyond...
No, really. I'm just calling it like we see it, right?
Yeah.
That is so...
Fourth wave
It is
corporate
just
feminism.
as divisive as anything that they're accusing the other side of being or doing or whatever
Even
Trump
worse, yes.
does that divides
Supposedly,
everybody.
yes.
That
In theory,
but
he can get
the
shot.
other side is just as guilty because they are just as confrontational and just as
even more so.
I've seen some, really some left-wing friggin' rally type things or rally protesters that are just off the hook, man. Way as much or more than any MAGA,
And after the 2 assassination attempts on a former president and their calls for unity and toning down the rhetoric and this and that, how does this help that goal?
Right.
Or was that just something to say to sound like you're trying to be peaceable when in fact you're just trying to stick it to everybody who doesn't believe what you believe?
That is, I think part of that and part and parcel of it is the irresponsibility of the media and how they categorize and demonize and
The deplorables.
vilify, yes, and on both sides. Because they are
and aren't the Sith the only ones that work in absolute?
right.
Not to mix your sci-fi there, ladies, but hey, I'm just saying.
No, man, it just it kills me that people are using some of our most beloved properties and sources of entertainment against each other. And it saddens me that we've got people out in the country, and I know some of them personally, that they're Americans that are looking at other Americans as some kind of enemy that needs to be eradicated
or put in a camp
or thrown out or kicked out of the country, or we'd be better off without any of those people over there. No, screw that. This is the United States of America, man. The home of the free,
and the brave.
And the brave, but
and we
free.
We aren't a political channel. We don't want to talk about politics.
No.
We want to talk about entertainment.
That's
movies,
the point of this.
Comics.
We're tired of politics getting into our entertainment. We don't want that in our entertainment. Entertainment is there to escape from that and get out of your life for a while and be entertained and just have a good time. Because We can always go back to the bad time that we're living in when the show's over. Right?
Exactly.
I mean, that's for me. I mean, entertainment doesn't need to mean anything. It doesn't have to have a message. All it has to do is be fun and entertaining.
And if it does have a message, then the writers need to be able to present that without trying to club everybody over the head with it.
Well, yeah, and if it is, no, and the thing is, too, using these kind of properties to
push a political agenda
as a platform for your messaging is just not cool. Not even cool. And it's not cool at all. Because none of us care about that shit in our entertainment. If we want to go get involved in or expose ourselves to those things, there's places to do that. That's not in my Star Trek, my Star Wars, my Lord of the Rings,
my Marvel,
my superhero world, Marvel, DC, any of it. Just screw that. Just take that out of our entertainment, please. Okay, now don't get me wrong. Because I'm not saying that there's no place for politics in Star Trek, especially. It's just when it is just so
hateful.
Yeah, and just,
vitriol,
yeah, and divided and biased and
an ignorant comment like that Star Trek was never manga. What the?
No bullshit, man. And but Star Trek has always been a look at the human condition, and there are political issues that are addressed through Star Trek that are fair and unbiased. It's just is a look at the issue in and of itself through this sci-fi, context that they like you mentioned, the Omega Glory.
Yeah.
And the other one, Let That Be My Last Battlefield.
Oh, absolutely.
And even The Way to Eden with the Herberts and the hippies. I mean, that was a reflection of the culture, especially of the time, in 1966, 67, whatever year it was.
Yes.
And we've seen it in The Next Gen. I mean, The Next Gen had what? The first, I don't know if it was trans or...
Oh, the people that were...
That were
both or neither,
yeah, and so that's in there, and is not,
and then Deep Space Nine had the lesbian kiss, which was whatever.
And well, yeah, because it was one of
it was
one of Curzon's exes.
Yeah, but it was kind of passé. It was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
it was like I wasn't.
And it wasn't like just surrounded with this preaching message that they beat you over the head with. That this is okay. No, it just was what it was, and that anyway. You can be MAGA and still like Star Trek. It's okay, and fuck anybody who says anything different.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Go back into your hole and complain about it.
Right, and or find some other vehicle to espouse your whatever position.
Your hateful political speech.
Because
your hateful political speech. That's all it is.
It's on both sides, but it's getting old and tired. We're just getting tired of it. Just leave it alone. Just
stop.
Just stop. Yes, please. Just stop and go back to good storytelling that will take us on a trip to another world without having to feel guilty about being a white cis male or anything else that they're on about and trying to give us this message from that doesn't belong there. That's all. I mean, it just doesn't belong there. And because there's plenty of political issues and social issues and human condition stuff that Star Trek does very good job at illustrating and addressing and
past tense part 1 and 2
anyway, and for what it's become is just Gene Roddenberry's rolling over in his grave, I'm sure.
Well, he's out in space.
Star Trek has always been progressive, but I still know a hell of a lot of conservatives who love it, and they don't look at it as this progressive thing that needs to be eradicated like all the other libtards. That's all bullshit too, man. The Trumpanzees and the libtards both need to go away, you know, but I'm not saying that they need to be eradicated, but I mean, they just need to shut the fuck up and mind their own fucking business, to quote Tim Walz, which, mind your own damn business, and I'll mind mine. Keep that shit out of my Star Trek. And on that happy note,
leave a comment. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, start a dialogue about this, man, because, god damn it, Star Trek is for everybody. Always has been, and
should have always been.
And should always will be, yes.
Like, share, and subscribe.